Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, a true classic and quite the formula breaker of its time, which ended up becoming the absolute favorite in the entire franchise for some, introducing wacky shapeshifting power-ups, a completely new way of attacking and using enemies, and of course, one annoying, irritating, and sad baby Mario. Seriously, who thought that was a good idea? Even story-wise, this game is incredibly important, because it's the prequel to Super Mario World and chronologically the first in the Mario franchise. It stars Yoshi and the Yoshi clan who, while carrying Baby Mario, travel across Yoshi's Island to rescue Baby Luigi from Baby Bowser and his Magic Koopa minion Kamek. Even on a technological front, it was a huge step, because this game wasn't like the previous one, because it is one of 4 released SNES games to make use of the Super FX2 chip, the others being Doom, Winter Gold, and Star Fox 2. The original Super FX chip was used to render 3D polygons and to assist the SNES in rendering advanced 2D effects. With these new, more modern games that came out near the end of the SNES lifecycle, they needed some more beef to run. And so the second generation was born, which had about 40% more power. Now, with all this experimenting and new technology involved, you can expect some left out bits and pieces here and there. Well, this is certainly the case, and we're going to look at quite a big piece. Massive, to be honest. All the earlier designs of certain levels, or even ones that are in no shape, way, or form in the final game. So let's dive in straight away.
First up, the level Watch Out Below. Here, chain chomps essentially fall out of the sky, but in the level there is something weird, because there's a winged cloud placed above the chomps in the middle of the level. Since there's no terrain near the sprite, the screen will never pan to it, and it's too far away to hit with an egg. We have no clue at all what's inside of it, and why it was even there. It could have been placed there by accident. This happens quite a lot actually. We have multiple examples from other Mario titles and even Zelda, Animal Crossing and more, where this is seen. Sometimes it's an accident and other times they place them there to copy and paste from them so they can put them in the level faster. Next up, Bert the Bashful's Fort. This is the first one of its kind that you visit in the game. In one area of this level, right after the lava pit with the pink moving platforms, there's a wall ledge that doesn't appear because there's no wall object placed behind it. The platform itself is 3 blocks wide and hints that the surrounding area used to be different during development. But sadly enough, we don't really know what these possible differences could be, but it certainly went through a redesign to an extent. Next up, Prince Froggies Fort, also known as level 3-4. The hidden room in this one shows signs of evidence that there was an earlier design with a different exit. These special tiles prevent the camera from scrolling up into the top left portion of the room, with an exit to the side sprite hovering a little above the ground. As the corresponding exit for it is gone, the warp will only lead to the default location. Now the reason why they probably changed this was to make it easier for them, because you could see with the old exit that you had to exit either right or left, no matter where they placed it. This becomes a problem as soon as your character just floats up to the surface, ending up somewhere in the level. It wouldn't make sense if you went left or right or even through a door before that, so they would have to change the end location. What they decided to do was make it more simplistic. This probably saved them quite some time as well. Next up, the Impossible Maze, also known as Extra 4. This level actually has 2 goals, with the second one located past the first one and off the ground, at the far end of the room. Since the first goal sprite prevents the camera from scrolling past it, you will never see it. If you were to somehow reach the second goal, it would appear inside the wall near the ceiling. This is probably a mistake because there's no good reason for placing this somewhere to copy-paste it later. It could even be that the level used to be a bit bigger and that they made it shorter for some reason. Next up, the very long cave. In the starting section of the last room of the level, there's a closed door that the player exits from when coming from the alternate path. However, there's a screen exit that leads back to the alternate path's door, meaning it wasn't always closed. Backtracking would have allowed you to bypass the auto-scrolling in the alternate path room, indicating that this change was made to fix a developer oversight, or that the alternate path was not always auto-scrolling. Clearly this area has been worked on a bunch. What it used to be, or what the reason is for putting in auto-scrolling, is unknown. There aren't any other clues that would give us a possible answer, sadly enough.
Now for our last one, Hook built a Koopa's castle, also known as the final level in World 4. In the first room, there is a section where 2 Koopas fall from the holes in the ceiling. However, the level data shows that there was originally a 3rd Koopa, but for whatever reason, the 3rd hole in the ceiling was removed and the Koopa was left stranded. Bit of a sloppy job on that slight entrance change. Nothing special besides that. Now, another weird thing here is seen all the way at the end. In the boss room itself, there is an unused exit near the start of the room, which is extremely odd. Because Yoshi is never supposed to leave boss rooms after entering them. Not only that, but the only door in the room, which is blocked, is placed outside of the exit area. If the exit were to be somehow used, it would take the player to the first room of the level, just inside the floor. So clearly, a lot is going on here and almost all of it makes no sense. The only possibility is that the exit was used at some point. It could even be that originally all of the bosses had exits. However, we aren't sure about this because it's only found in this one. So quite an odd thing to find, and it will remain a secret. However, after looking at all these changes in the levels seen in the game, these beta snippets won't be a secret for you anymore. And now we can finally rest at ease, knowing that Yoshi's Island's levels became better because of this. Thank you for watching our little video on the Crying Baby Simulator. Make sure to click buttons. Maybe the ones in the video. Or the big red one. I don't care. Just click them.